mics, so you better be careful. Okay, I'd like to invite the confirmation students for 2018 to come forward. I invite Emily Burke, Sarah Henson, Allison Jansen, Emma Clazing, Philip Martinez, and Sydney Winterberg. Okay. May be seated, and so don't sit on the mics there. So you three will share that mic, and you three will share the other mic. One thing I really like about this class is it covers all of the hair color spectrum. Right? I don't know, Sarah's, yours was green or blue the other day, right? So, yeah, we got them all here. Okay. So, confirmation, as you know, at Immanuel is a 2-year program led by Tony Wright. Say hi, Tony, way up there. And during this 2-year period, they were given a whole lot of information, and they assessed a lot of things. They discussed a lot of things. There was a lot of encouragement. Questions developed, relationships hopefully grew stronger, and hopefully faith was stretched, and also they had a lot of fun. So what you're about to witness is these young people sharing just a portion, just a little bit of what they learned during their 2-year stint in confirmation class. And I'll begin with Allison. Allison, share with us the things each member of your class was asked to memorize for the tests that you took during confirmation.
We had to memorize the Lord's Prayer, the Apostles' Creed, all the books of the Bible, and the 10 Commandments.
Great. You officially know more than I do. Emily, name the 2 sacraments we celebrate here at Immanuel.
Baptism and communion.
There you go. Thank you. And Sydney, over here. Sydney, share with us why you think Holy Communion is meaningful.
I think Holy Communion is meaningful because it's a time to remember the sacrifice that Jesus made for us all those years ago.
Great. And Philip, why do you think the sacrament of baptism is important?
Promises were made by the parents. It's the start of a lifelong journey of faith, and promises are made by the parents to uphold the child in a Christian family.
Thank you. Great. And Sarah? Where are you? Over there. Sarah, explain what you understand to be the connection between baptism and communion. That's a hard one.
You're pledging promises to yourself. Others are pledging promises to you, and
so promises go both ways, huh? Baptism, communion. Never thought of that. That's good. Okay, Emma, finally. Immanuel follows what we call the lectionary or liturgical calendar. Name the 7 seasons of the church year in order, beginning with Advent.
Advent, Christmas, Epiphany, Lent, Easter, Pentecost, and Ordinary Time.
Wow, you got the ordinary in there. That's good. Okay. So that was round 1. No one got knocked out in round 1. That's pretty good. Kind of out of curiosity, how many of you out here have been through this process of questioning Sunday here at Immanuel or somewhere else? Wow. So they all know more than I do. It's scary. It's a great process. So this is just to show you that you're not alone. We're not the only ones to do this sort of thing. Other churches do this as well. You're following a long tradition. And it's a beautiful tradition, and you'll never forget it, I promise. Okay, so now I'm going to ask a few of you to recount the key events that took place in Jerusalem during what we call Holy Week, the last week. And I'll begin with Emily. Over there. What happened on Palm Sunday to midweek?
So branches were spread on the roads, and Jesus rode into Jerusalem on a donkey.
There you go. Thank you. And Allison, tell us what happened on Maundy Thursday.
On Monday, Thursday, we commemorate the Last Supper and the events leading up to the crucifixion of Jesus. And it's also when Jesus took bread and took wine and gave it to the disciples.
Okay. And Emma? Tell us what happened on Good Friday.
On Good Friday, Jesus was condemned to death by Pontius Pilate, and he also suffered his crucifixion and death.
Okay, thank you. And finally, Philip, you get the hard one. What happened on Easter?
The tomb was found empty. Well, the stone was rolled away, the tomb was found empty, and he was risen.
There you go. Thank you. Okay. This is for Sarah. Jesus was asked, which commandment is the most important? Tell us what was Jesus' response according to the gospel. How did he answer that question, which commandment is the most important?
None of them, because all of the 10 Commandments fall under love others and God.
Love one another. Thank you. And Sydney, over here. What was Jesus trying to tell us when he washed the disciples' feet? Or what was significant about him washing their feet?
Jesus wanted to tell us that he came to serve others and not to be served.
Okay, thank you. And you can keep the microphone. So another question. Immanuel Church is associated with what Protestant denomination?
United Church of Christ.
Okay, and explain what you know about how a church is runs or is governed in the United Church of Christ. What do you know about that?
We are allowed to make our own rules and regulate our own church, but we have to follow a few simple guidelines that UCC has put up for us.
Okay, and we call this local church autonomy. We're autonomous. We can pretty much do as we wish. Yeah, thank you. This is for Philip. What did you learn about the organizational structure of Immanuel United Church of Christ?
So there is the church council, and they make the overall decisions for the church. And then represented within the church council, there are different committees, such as the evangelism committee, the mission outreach committee, and the worship committee.
Okay, yep, that's how we operate. Sure. This is for Sarah. Sarah, explain why having a budget and operating within the budget is important to Immanuel or to any church. Why is a budget important?
You need to budget your money wisely, and if you run out of money, then the church will shut down.
It would, wouldn't it? Yeah. So what we're talking about here is stewardship. And stewardship is the sharing of our time, our talents, and our treasure, which is our money. And also, so it means getting involved in church, being a good steward, both really personally in your life and also as a church. The church also can be a good steward, just like we can as individuals. So, Emily, this is for you. Identify some of the outside organizations that are supported by Immanuel, either financially or people volunteer their time or talent. What are some of those organizations?
So one we do is Jesus Has Left the Building, which is we go and we do some yard work for some people who necessarily can't do it themselves.
Yeah.
Another thing we do is Every Child's Hope, which is ECH, and we send them food and stuff. And then we do Lydia's House, which is for women who are in a tough relationship, and it's a safe place for them to go.
Great. Yeah. Those are good examples. Yeah. Thank you. Allison, let's keep the focus on stewardship. Why is getting involved and participating in the life of the church essential, important?
It's essential because it keeps you from abandoning your faith. It encourages you to help others and do good, and your church is supporting you while you're doing this.
Thank you. And keep the mic. We're going to dig a little bit deeper here. Besides confirmation class, what other ways did the members of your class participate in the life of the church? What are some things you did?
As Emily said, we rake leaves for Jesus Has Left the Building. We worked the Worst Market, and we helped craft tables at the Advent Festival. We also worked VBS and Summer Sunday School and Room at the Inn.
Oh, y'all are busy. Okay. This is for Emma. Emma, in what new ways do members of your class plan to participate in the life of the church after you've been confirmed?
Some of us plan to be leaders at Vacation Bible School. Some of us plan to be acolytes. We can also be a part of the church choir. We can be summer Sunday school teachers or regular Sunday school teachers. We are allowed to be ushers, and later on in life, we can be a part of the church council or board of Christian education.
Right. Future council presidents right here. They're all waiting, I'm telling you. Okay, this is for Sydney. These are we're going to move to a few theological questions, okay? So in the beginning, God created, and God continues to create. How are we called to care for all that God creates?
We are called to take care of ourselves, each other, and nature. And we do this by doing food pantries and taking care of others and room at the inn. And we also take care of nature when we go to Jesus Has Left the Building and take care of our friends' yards.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It's theology in action, right? This is for Emily. So God gives us free will. Challenges arise when the decisions we make lead us astray. Interpret for us how this was discussed in your confirmation class.
So basically in confirmation we learn that our actions bring consequences and to just choose wisely.
Wow. Thank you. Okay, Allison, over here. There's a more lighthearted theological question. How can you best describe God's grace?
God's grace is a gift from God, and everyone has it. We can't earn it, and we can't get rid of it. And God's grace helps us forgive us from our sins.
Good. Philip, got one for you. What sets Jesus apart from the rest of us?
He is divine, and he has never committed sin.
Thank you. Annie rode a donkey once, I think.
That too.
Yeah, I've never done that. I think some people out here have, though. I'm talking about you, Terry, wherever you're. Sarah. This is for Sarah. Here we go. Attending worship as a class and taking notes on worship services was part of your confirmation experience. Pass along some reasons why this might have been asked of you, or why was it valuable for you to do that, to come to worship and take notes during the service?
Taking notes helps us to pay attention and to detail, and coming to worship helps us with after confirmation and to be a part of the church service.
Good. And Emma. Each of you wrote about what you believe, and you share these thoughts with us in worship, which, by the way, were magnificent. I mean, everybody I talked to says it's really good. Tell us about that experience. Why do you think writing your own statements of beliefs was worthwhile?
Well, when I wrote my first copy of my statement of beliefs last year, it came pretty easily to me. Then when I got it returned this year, I actually had to sit down and ask myself, what do I believe? Not what was I taught to believe.
Yeah.
And when you ask yourself that question, you feel that your connection with God is a lot closer now that you know your own beliefs.
Thank you. That's very good. It's very important. That shows that you guys are growing. You were learning and reflecting on it, you're right. Rather than just regurgitating what you read somewhere, you were thinking about it. So that's all the questions I have. What do you think? Do they deserve an applause or what? Very good. May go back to your seats. I'll take your mic. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Yep. They do go back to their seats, right? Yeah. Okay.